kick it off.
Sure.
Rebecca, you are our Director of Education.
I am.
And I found out that we were launching Strengthening Therapy System, I think when I was on my maternity leave last year in September, October.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you told me. So why were you so excited about this new system?
Well, this was a really unique system. You know, I'm an instructor, a cosmetology instructor, as well as a licensed stylist. So for me, when I was teaching in the schools, there was a lot of, frustration and worry and concern regarding sodium hydroxide relaxers, but people love them and they perform, they work excellent. But then you have others who want to go from curly to straight, straight to curly and back and forth. And as you know, and maybe our customers don't know, but when you get a relaxer, and I'm gonna make it really simple because sometimes I go deep. If I go deep, tell me.
Bring it up, sister.
Okay, that's my cue. With a sodium hydroxide relaxer or a ammonium thiglycolate, okay, I know, it's borderline.
A what? Okay.
It's like a permanent wave, when you go and you get a curl or, a perm. Either one of those actually break the disulfide bond, which means that when your hair is straight, it's straight.
Gotcha.
You can't go back to your natural.
No coming back to it.
No coming back to it. And what I liked about the strengthening therapy system was that it gave you that option of going from straight to curly, curly to straight, because it does not break the disulfide bond. But on top of that, the other reason why I was super excited about it was truly because of the blow drying or the air forming time. Typically when a woman's natural, like yourself, you're natural.
Yes.
Natural mama, go. Or Alicia. I pretend. I am natural though. I mean, I'm wavy. I'm wavy, so I'm natural.
Naturally wavy.
Naturally wavy. When a woman, who is natural goes back and forth, and let's say they wear their hair straight, and they step out to the humidity, and what happens?
It swells. It blows up.
And immediately, that service that you just paid, $85 to $150.
Nothing more upsetting when you get your hair done and it reverts the next day.
And truly, and one of the upsetting parts was that the time it takes to go back in, shampoo, condition, air form, was frightening. But why I love the system so much is for a natural woman, you immediately go back in and air form, and it takes half the time.
Exactly.
So for me, styling hair, that was major.
Gotcha. Now, Alicia, to cut you off, but Alicia is on our research and development team. She's one of the stylists here that tests all of our products. So every product that comes through our research and development process that is introduced, Alicia has played with and tested.
Yes.
So Alicia, you tested STS for months before it was released. And what was your thoughts when you started testing the system?
When I first started testing the system, I was really excited because actually the first model that I used it on was actually very excited because she said that her hair would always revert when she went outside. She would get it done exactly as you explained, get it done, and the very next day it would revert, it would swell, and it would be over. So that was her frustration. So basically she did wear it curly most of the time. So when she first got that system, and I was even just amazed because I was like, wow, she came, weekly to get it done, and her hair was straight, and it remained, remained straight without swelling.
And we're just switching mics, just so you guys know, because this is real TV. So we're switching mics so that way you all can hear Alicia. But Alicia's basically saying what she loved about the STS system, and that she had a client that she was testing the product system on, and the client really loved STS because she didn't have the amount of reversion that she was having without STS when she would go between curly and straight.
Exactly. So with that, and then she wasn't the only one. I mean, we tested it on several models in several different hair types and textures, and it was the same result, and they were just ecstatic about it because they hadn't had that experience.
Gotcha. Now, within the STS system, we do have 4 signature products. So I'm going to give 2 products to Rebecca and 2 to Alicia. Here you go. Those are your gifts.
Wait, I'm passing them down. No?
That's fine. Yes. Okay. Now, can you, Rebecca, tell me about the 2 that you have in your hand?
Sure. I've got the elongation mousse and the transitioning mousse.
Okay.
These are our 2 products now, and I almost feel like we need to switch them. So let me just put that down so there's no confusion. So the transitioning mousse, this is our first product that we had designed as a treatment, the strengthening therapy treatment, where it actually goes in, it's heat activated, and it takes your natural hair, if you wear it straighter, into a straight position. Now again, this is based shampoo to shampoo, so if you're out and about, you sweat a little bit, you'll get a tiny bit of reversion, but like I said, the hair will blow out very, very easily and very smooth. So it's a treatment that lasts anywhere from 6 to 12 weeks, depending how often you shampoo and condition your hair. This is a great alternative for women, again, like I said, who primarily wear their hair straight. And that's truly because it's designed for women who are transitioning from a relaxer into natural hair for that manageability purposes. Now for a woman who is natural and wants that perfect dream curl that drops and it is droopy and it's defined and separated with minimal to no frizz, right? Did I just describe the perfect curl?
Yep.
The elongation mousse is designed for that. And the elongation mousse, what it does is it goes in, again, it's heat activated, and it helps to seal and lock the cuticle layer down. And if many of you don't know, okay, I might go deep again. Okay, so
I'll let you know when it comes back up.
What many people don't know and understand is that with the hair cuticle or the hair shaft, is that it looks like a Christmas tree when it's dry, it needs moisture, it's all puffed out, okay? Now, if you give it moisture, the hair shaft and the hair, you give it protein and you give it strengthening ingredients like moisture and protein, it will seal that cuticle layer down so it's more like a straw.
Gotcha. That was a nice visual. Christmas tree to a straw.
Yeah, that was great. I'm gonna have to use that.
You can. You can take it.
Okay, thank you.
And so what that does is when the hair is curly and it's defined, it's not going to, first of all, tangle because those Christmas tree layers and the hair is dry and brittle, they lock onto each other, which is why you get tangles. But when it's smooth, they just glide together and you get minimal frizz. So the elongation mousse is designed to help drop the curl and to minimize the frizz.
Now with the elongation mousse, obviously these products are all heat activated, but you can choose to either thermally straighten the hair once it's blow dried in, or you can choose not to do that. And so when would someone say, okay, you know what, I don't want to use a ceramic or a titanium iron to straighten the hair when that product's in the hair?
Well, I will say this, for best results, the hairstylist, what they're going to, because we're speaking to consumers, right? I can be real? You
can be real, okay? Stylists and consumers, we're real here.
Okay,
yes.
both. Okay, both. So as professional stylists and consumers, when you see your stylist doing the service, there's two ways that it can be done. The best and most effective way is, is that my computer? The best and most effective way is by air forming the product into the hair, the elongation mousse, and then following it with a thermal styling iron to smooth out the hair. That is the most effective way for you to get the best possible results. And that's just because you're applying direct heat and you're thermally activating it. Now you're still thermally activating it for somebody who is natural and just cannot handle the idea of having an iron placed into their hair, their natural hair. Air forming it and pulling it straight's not a big deal, but it's when you go back in with an iron for those clients who are natural and haven't had an iron next to their head in years, or maybe ever.
Yeah.
It's also, well, I'm gonna go deep now.
Okay, before you go deep, come back up. Alicia.
Thank you.
What products? And let me say this, I'm not just over here on my computer doing something crazy. I'm actually on Facebook. So if you have any questions and you're a fan on our Facebook page, you can send us your questions on Facebook, and I am monitoring our Facebook page right now for instant answers. Okay, what about that? Instant Access TV. That's what we're doing. So we're going to switch up the mics on Alicia so that way you all can hear her loud and clear. And Alicia has our silkening spray and the cleansing sulfate-free shampoo. So she's going to talk a little bit about that and what she loves about the product and you know how they both perform as well. And 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Well, I have one product is going to be our Strengthening Therapy Sulfate-Free Cleansing Shampoo. And what I love about this shampoo is that you're able to use this shampoo before, during, and after the process. It's important to use it before the process because you're going to cleanse that hair, get it ready to receive like your favorite Design Essentials conditioner or the actual elongation mousse or the transitioning mousse that you're going to put on the hair. And then this is going to be used during the process as you're receiving the service. And then this is one of the products that you definitely want to take home with you to maintain your hair during your services. This is the one you're going to want to shampoo. I love it because it is a light moisturizing shampoo. It is definitely, it smells great. All of our products smell great, but I mean, it smells great. It's aromatherapeutic, and it's just going to give you that gentle cleansing and that moisture that the hair is
how
going
does
to
it
need.
feel? Because, you know, we're big on how shampoos feel. So how does it feel?
As far as the sudsing or just feeling it?
Both. How, you know, is it thick? Is it thin?
No, it's the perfect viscosity coming out.
When you say viscosity, what does that mean?
the thickness or the loose thinness of the product. So you want me to just put a little bit on my finger and you can see?
Yes.
So here, I don't know if we can get a little close up.
Close up.
There it goes.
Ooh,
And then it just comes out really nicely, okay? And a little goes a long way, guys. So I love, like I said, I love this. And I actually have the elongation mousse in my hair, and I use this shampoo for myself.
And look, I wanted to just stop you there because you have elongation in your hair.
Yes.
And so we don't want people to think that, you know, when you try these products or use these products that you have no curl pattern left. Alicia has elongation, and look at her beautiful texture that she still has. It's still curly, still textured, and of course still healthier, but just more healthier and stronger.
Yes, that most definitely. I love having it in my hair, and my hair is very dense. It's hard for me to get people to do my hair for me. So I would venture to tell you that I'm able to manage my hair so much more with the elongation mousse in my hair, honestly. Now the second one, do you want me to go on with that one?
Yes,
Silkening spray, yes.
So the second product I have is our silkening spray. And the silkening spray is so awesome because I can use this. It's going to be like a week-to-week shampoo to shampoo kind of treatment, and this is going to definitely fortify that hair immediately. You'll see that fortification right there the first time you use it. Okay, this is great to be used when you want to mold the hair, whether you want to roller set the hair, if you want to air form it or blow dry it into the hair. You're going to get sheen, body, and immediate strength in your hair when you use the silkening spray.
Okay, so we have a few questions on our Facebook page, and if you all are on the WebEx, you can send your questions through the WebEx chat box as well, but I'm on Facebook right now. So here's the question, and this is from Nicole Jefferson. Hey, Nicole.
Hey,
she
Nicole.
wants to know, can you use the elongation on males that want to enhance their natural curl? That's a good question. So can you use it on men who want to enhance their natural curl pattern?
Oh, enhance your natural curl pattern. You mean make it curlier? That's what it sounds like she's asking.
Yeah, let's make sure.
Is that what you're asking, Nicole? Okay, well, why don't you explain 2 different ways that you've got the mic there?
Okay, so if you're saying to enhance, I guess basically how it's going to work is going to work with your curl pattern that's already there. Okay, so this is not going to be the product that's going to create a curl pattern within his hair. Okay, it's going to work with what's there. So basically, I just use me as an example. My curl pattern is basically was tightly curled, or a tightly curled pattern. But once I received the system, my curl pattern was elongated. So now it's more of a curly state, because my curls, as Rebecca had talked about, is that my curls dropped and they were looser. Okay, so if you're looking for the definition of his curl pattern that's already there, then most definitely that would be the one you want to use for him.
Okay, and then we have another question. This is from Casey, the artist.
Ooh, Casey, the artist.
Davis, yes. She wants to know, can you use the system on someone who is transitioning from a thiol-based chemical like Wave by Design?
Oh, it's a very good question. Okay.
I'm going to switch Miss Deepness over here for that.
Go deep, girl.
Go deep. So I'm taking it, Casey?
Yes, Casey the artist.
Casey the artist. Well, yes, let me tell you this. Let me start with cosmetology theory. The biggest thing is with an ammonium thioglycolate based product like Wave by Design or any sort of more permanent waving tools that are out there, this is not compatible. We actually do not recommend to use a strengthening therapy system along with hair that's been treated with an ammonium thioglycolate base. Okay?
Cool. All right, so we have a few questions in our brochure, our strengthening therapy system brochure. You guys, lovely brochure here. Hey. All right, so some of the common questions that we always get, number one is, can I use strengthening therapy system? How soon can I use it, rather, after I get a relaxer? Who wants to take that question?
You're going to take it?
All right, we're switching back and forth here, guys. So how soon can you use it? The strengthening therapy system is definitely a relaxer enhancer. So I'm just going to say how I usually use it, all right? With the strengthening therapy system, it is a transitioning product, or that managing product definition for that client with the natural hair, with trying to get their curls defined, okay? Now, when my client, I've done that consultation and they've expressed desire that they are wanting to transition out of a relaxer and they want to go into natural hair, that's when I go ahead and introduce that strengthening therapy system, and the transitioning moves to them, because this one is going to be the optimal one for them, especially if they like to wear their hair straight most of the time. Okay, so usually that would kind of fall.
And guys, don't worry, we have people in our audience here as well.
Okay, that would fall. That will fall when they are actually, say if it's almost time for their retouch. It's almost time for their retouch, and they've kind of made that decision that they want to go ahead and transition. That's when I'm definitely going to consult with them and introduce that to them, the transitioning moves.
Gotcha. Now we do have a question on our Facebook page. And thank you all so much for sending us your questions. And we have a question from Joy Byers. She wants to know, can you use the silkening spray after the STS treatment for their weekly or bi-weekly appointments? Or is it only for relaxed hair? So almost like, can you use it between relaxers as a strengthening treatment or a conditioning treatment?
Most definitely. You can use it in between, and what you're going to find is when you're using it in between, it's going to enhance what's there. For that client that's relaxed, or they're color treated, or they have weakened textures, or just when they're coming in for like their shampoo and style, when you just spray it in, as soon as you spray it in, this one is also heat activated as well. So when you spray it in and then you blow dry it in, you're going to see instant sheen, instant moisture. The hair is going to be stronger immediately. So
gotcha.
Definitely.
So if I'm natural and I just wanted to have somewhat of a conditioning treatment, can I use the silkening spray as well?
You can definitely use it.
Okay, all right. Now this is a common question that we get when we've done our WebExes before. Can you apply color and strengthening therapy system on the same day?
Okay.
That's a great question.
That's an awesome question, and we get it all the time. No, we are not recommending you to do it on the same day. What we recommend is that you apply the color 1 week before or 2 weeks after. And if you apply it 1 week before, we recommend that you're going to formulate your color formulation 1 to 2 shades darker than your original formula, because when they get the system in that next week, it can lighten that color some. So you want to make sure that you do it 1 week before with 1 to 2 shades darker formulation, and 2 weeks after.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, can you hear me? Can everybody hear me on their phones? You're trying to find me, Chris?
We have one person that can't hear, Maria. June, wrong.
If you all are having any challenges with hearing, could you let us know on our Facebook page and or on the WebExes? We want to make sure that you all can hear as well as see, because they're both essential at this point with the TV, because we don't have captions, unfortunately. We're just starting out. Maybe next time we'll have some captions, but let us know if you can hear us.
Love that.
In the meantime, Rebecca, what are some of the common questions that you get with strengthening therapy system?
I get a lot of questions about managing expectations.
Yes.
And actually the calls that come into the office, when you call in, if you're a consumer or if you are a professional licensed stylist, all of them come into the education department. Now, I don't touch all of the phone calls because I tend to be busy, and I've been traveling a lot with Alicia as we've been launching this around the country. So when we do get them, it's typically surrounding managing expectations.
And that means basically someone who gets the product and trying to figure out how their hair is going to do with it.
Well, yes, and that you go in, you get this treatment, and your hair looks amazing when you walk out of the salon. And then let's say you go for a jog through Piedmont Park, it's in Atlanta, just giving an example. and you sweat a little bit, and you get a tiny bit of reversion. Now, for a woman who is used to her hair being in a straighter position, the first reaction is to freak out because you paid this money for this service. Your expectation is your hair is going to be straight. And my response to all the customers, as well as the stylist, is managing those expectations at the consultation. This is not going to leave the hair permanently straight. It's only going to give you manageability, health, and strength back to the hair, which will allow you to wear in a straighter position for a much longer period of time. So as a customer, you just need to understand that having your hair be able to do these multiple things, like go straight and then go curly, is a great thing.
Yeah.
And just to remember that when you go back in after you get this treatment done to get your hairstyle out again, it's going to be really quick.
And see, that's great, because what we also think that when it comes to curls and textures, that reversion is the bad thing, but it's not. And see, this, we call it's not a chemical, so it does not permanently alter the state of the hair. Is that right? Because I'm not a stylist, but
well, here's the thing. I mean, if you, I don't want to get all technical. Everything is a chemical, is either an active or a non-active chemical. Everything, including water. So we don't really want to go into it's not a chemical or it is a chemical. What we are saying is that it is a strengthening treatment. Designed to add strength back to the hair. And it does not break the disulfide bond, so it's not going to give you a permanent alteration of the hair, but it is going to give you a temporary style, whether it be straight or curly, smooth, silken hair.
Gotcha. Now, we do have a question on our WebEx chat, and this is coming from Carmel. Hey, you know what? Hey, girl, because you are always supporting us on our WebEx. You have been on our WebEx a few times. I have seen your name, so thank you so much for participating. I remember you. Her question is, do you apply transitioning mousse on relaxed hair the same steps on as you do natural hair, or just new growth only for a relaxed client? So why don't we just get into the application process? How about that?
Okay. Yeah. Well, the application process, and I'm going to try to stay very high with this, but it's very, very simple. When a client comes in or a guest comes into the salon, we would first shampoo the hair. We would cleanse the hair using the sulfate-free shampoo, the strengthening therapy shampoo. Now, if there was an excessive amount of buildup, we would probably shampoo first with our organic cleanse from the Design Essentials line to remove any extra impurities. But if there wasn't a lot of buildup on the hair, then we would start with our strengthening therapy system, sulfate-free shampoo. After applying the shampoo, we would towel blot and section the hair into 4 quadrants, or rather 4 sections, okay? From there, we would have determined what we were going to use, whether it be the elongation mousse or the transitioning mousse, which is back is up here. I love that you all have seen that I've been doing 50 other things while we've been on this call.
This is real TV.
Live.
This is reality
it's
TV.
Live, okay? You don't get this on cable. You might, I don't know. From there, you're going to go ahead and apply to the hair. Now, it's really simple, and Alicia and I have gone through this quite a bit because it comes out in a mousse form. So what we'll do is take a half inch section starting at the nape of the neck. And the reason we always start in the back is typically the curl pattern is tighter in the back portion of the head, closer to the occipital bone, which is right here.
The what bone?
Occipital, see?
Occipital.
Learn something new every day.
I mean, I could go deep, but I...
Keep it going, sister.
It's hard for me not to go deep, by the way. That's why it's a bit of a challenge, okay? So anyways, coming back. So you take a half inch section, you drop it down, and you're gonna take almost a half a pump, and they'll apply it right at the root area. Now the root area being right close to the scalp. And then we will gently comb it through using a rat tail comb or a tail comb, depending on what your terminology is. When I went to school, it was rat tail.
Rat tail.
They say tail now.
Oh.
I know, right?
Okay.
Whatever.
I just had a moment here.
Yeah?
Yeah, like I've been here before.
Oh, really?
Like a deja vu moment, but go ahead.
It's often. You and I have those often. But that's
we were talking
thing.
about rat tails.
I was going to go into this whole thing about, that means you're in the right place at the right time.
I'm having an Oprah aha moment. But
I'm just saying,
okay.
You do have an Oprah chair.
But I don't have Oprah's money.
Okay. I would like some of that too, please. Spread the love. Okay, so coming back to, you're going to do that and continue that through all sections of the hair. Now this product is going, the transitioning mousse or the elongation mousse will be left in for 15 minutes. So you can cap it if you want to. It does not have to be capped. Stylists, please don't put these folks under the dryer. I know it's habit to quick rush them over, put them under the dryer, but what I will say is it is not needed. This product is the newest and latest technology. I keep talking to this camera, I'll talk to both of them. Is the latest technology to where it's designed to penetrate the hair shaft. There is no heat needed under the dryer with a cap. So just let them sit for 15 minutes. Now this does not mean, let me quick do a haircut in between or quick do a relaxer application. You want to stay focused with this client. Once it's completed, you're going to go through an air form each section. Now, when we apply, and this happens often, and Alicia can attest to us, and I can, in fact, I'll tell you a funny story. I always tell our education team when they are doing
30
demos.
seconds, funny story.
I know, but I'll get there, When they're doing this in demos for cosmetology schools or classes, to use half of what they think they need. Because as hairstylists, we're naturally heavy-handed.
Yes.
Naturally. We just want to put on the hair. That's just who we are. So, and I say that, 30-second funny story, because when I first tested this, and by the way, I have tested all 3 of our products on my head, because that's how I am. I did this on my lovely dream nanny / friend Ashley. I wonder if Ashley's out there. I love you. And we used half bottle.
No, you didn't.
Yes, we did. Have you guys met Ashley? You've met Ashley.
Yes, I did.
Ashley did not. That's right.
Yeah.
You did Ashley's
Yes.
hair. Ashley did not have enough hair. I mean, her hair was like to right here in length. I needed to use maybe a quarter of.
You were using this like a styling product.
I was.
Okay.
And it's not.
Right.
So what happened is Michael, my husband, said, there's a lot of smoke in this house. I'm gonna need you to go on the back porch. So Michael kicked us out on the back porch, and there we were in our jammies, air forming here. So an indication that you've overused this product is by smoke. There will be, and it's not a lot billowing, like intoxicating. It's just, you know, like when you use excess product and you see a little bit of like, you know, it's just like that.
Yeah.
Also being able to get a brush through it. When you air form it through, we actually recommend using a paddle brush and a hard plastic paddle brush, because it'll allow the hair to glide through. Now for my Latinas out there, we do it. We want to round brush everything. During this step of the process, we do not recommend using round brushes. Right. I'm not saying Latinas are the only ones who use round brushes, because I know there's a lot of people who do, but during this step of the process, you do not want to use a round brush, because it is needed to get the hair into a straighter position by using a paddle brush. You're not trying to pull the hair straight. There'll still be some curl pattern left, but getting it as straight as possible to be dry. Okay? Cool. We're not done with the process. You're trying to cut me off?
No.
You want Alicia to go? I mean, you asked.
Go ahead.
Really, cut me short in the process. Then you go back through. You silk the hair.
This is what we deal with at the office every day, just so you know.
All day, every day. Then you go back through, you silk through the hair. You're going to want to take smaller sections, okay, and wait for it. This is a step in the process. Once you have air form, silk the hair, you take them to the shampoo bowl and you shampoo and condition them. Somebody give me a say what.
Say what?
Thank you. And the reason I say that is for some reason stylists and students can't get over this. And we struggled with this, in conversations with stylists and students, that they just couldn't get past this. But think of it this way. Your hair can only absorb so much. Whatever is left is going to be on the outside of that hair shaft. So you need to go ahead and cleanse it and remove it from the hair. So you shampoo with our sulfate-free shampoo. I think I painted my nails. And then you're going to condition with the Express conditioner. Let me do this one, Vanna. Okay. From there, you style as normal. So however you would normally style this client, whether it be straight, curly, twist them out.
Oh, that's good, because I actually have a question from Facebook from Ken. And Ken wants to know, can you use the silkening spray on someone with natural hair who prefers roller sets instead of a ceramic style or silkening style?
She's natural and she prefers roller sets. So there's so many questions I have around that question.
I mean, Ken, if you're out there in cyber world, could you give
elaborate?
Yeah.
Was she relaxed at one point? When you roller set her, does she like her hair with texture? Because what styling gel were you using to set her with?
It almost sounds like he wants to know maybe if you can use silkening spray on someone who still wants to wear their hair in a natural or curly style and not a straight style versus.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's a fantastic product for all hair types.
Gotcha. Okay.
Do you want this back now? You want me to switch questions?
Yes. Let's hear from Alicia now because we got a lot of questions on Facebook.
Can you hear me with this? Yeah.
No, can they? Is it coming through?
Can you guys hear me?
I cannot hear you, Rebecca.
I don't know what you dialed in.
Number 3.
Okay, so we have a color question on Facebook. They want to know if you can use a rinse, somewhat of a semi-permanent, the same day as the service.
Oh, did you hear me?
Okay, no color. And let me try to break it down to explain why it won't take the color that first day. Remember when Rebecca was talking about the Christmas tree and the straw? Okay, the Christmas tree, that means that it's open, and then if the cuticle, which that's the outer layer of the hair, was open, then it would be able to receive the color. Well, when we do this process, this is simple amino acids that are going to close down that cuticle, which is the outer layer of the hair. It's going to be smooth like a straw. If you've closed that outer layer of the hair down and it's smooth like a straw, the color can't go in. It's going to be sealed shut, so there's not going to be any room for any color to go in. Okay?
It's going to slide right
So
off.
basically, if they were to get the color and then the system the same day, the client will be upset because the color would not take.
It would not take.
It would not adhere.
It would not adhere, no. So that's why we say to do it a week before or 2 weeks after. And I'm pretty sure out there, and this is, I have a little ongoing joke about our gray-haired clients, okay? I happen to be a gray-haired client, so I am understanding their plight. They don't want to see the gray, okay? They don't want to see it.
No, I don't.
That day.
Yeah,
so
right.
then if that
Maybe.
person is the client that is concerned about covering gray and they don't want to wait the additional 2 weeks, then during my consultation, I would give that client the color the week before so that she be happy when she received the service after.
Gotcha. Okay, we have another question, of course, on Facebook. This is a really good one. When would you suggest transforming the hair back to natural if they have 3 to 4 inches of new growth? So maybe when would you do a retouch application of either the transitioning moves or elongation move?
You know what's really, I'm sorry.
Yes, go ahead, because I was trying to get it one more time.
If someone has maybe 3 to 4 inches of new growth, and I'm assuming this is the question, when can you reapply, let's say, the transitioning moves or the elongation move? Does it need to be a certain amount of new growth for reapplication?
No, we say anywhere. Can you hear me if I'm talking?
I can hear you a little bit.
Switch it.
Oh, switch. Okay, we gotta switch.
Next time we'll have our own mics, guys.
I have a speakerphone. Pass me my phone. Okay. This is what's really interesting about this. Okay, we say 6 to 12 weeks based on your shampoos is when you'd want to reapply. But the crazy thing about it, and I know this is gonna sound hippie, okay, but your hair, you as a professional hairstylist will know, as well as you as a consumer, because you know your hair and you'll be able to feel it. I know that sounds hippie. I just realized.
But you would.
You would, because you could feel the difference in the way that your hair is reacting to the styling, the air forming, the conditioning, all of that.
And the elements.
And the elements.
Outside.
So that's typically about 6 to 12 weeks.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I hope you guys are enjoying this. This is our first time again
Are
doing
you
this
enjoying
format.
it?
Let us know if you're
Let us know.
enjoying
We
it.
gotta
Yeah.
know.
Because
they're not
we
gonna tell us they hate it. Oh, I hate it.
They might.
They
you know,
might.
if you do hate it, can you just message it on Facebook and not put it on our wall, please? Okay. But typically we have models here, and if you want to see live demonstrations with models, well, they're not live, but of course we have lots
We're
of
live.
videos on YouTube featuring Alicia. But we also have other videos as well for our DE Natural line, but we have at least 1 or 2 videos with Alicia. She was actually in the Design Essentials STS official video. So you can go to our designessentials.com, our website, and go to the videos page, and there are lots of videos there. But we also have a YouTube channel with over 45 videos, and some of them are on STS. So if you want to see live models, real hair, check out our videos on YouTube or designessentials.com. But for today, we want to kind of just have some girl talk, you know, and talk about STS. So back to the questions. Hey, Candace Wallace. Candace Wallace is one of our educators in Texas. And Candace I'm going to shout out Candace really quick. She's having an event in Houston called Naturality. It's a natural hair event. She's going to be educating consumers and her clients on natural hair. So if you are in the Houston area and you love natural hair, go see Candace Wallace and go check out her event. Candace, can you message me your information on Facebook or write it on our wall so that way I can shout you out, girl?
Your earring keeps hitting the mic.
So which one you take my earring off?
I mean, maybe.
You know what? Diva, okay, whatever. But anyway, the question is it getting on your nerves? Is it bothering you?
I mean, kind of, yeah.
Get over it.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Thank you. Again, this is what we have to deal with in the office. Rebecca. Lily Whitfield. I know.
There's love. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you. I love with my big hoops. Okay, these are basketball wives hoops.
saying I don't love your basketball wives hoops. I want you to get hit by
Okay, the question is for the fifth time.
It was horrible.
I know the recommended heat setting is between 340 degrees to 400 degrees.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Would a higher heat setting have an adverse effect on hair, especially for drier or wiry textures? So he wants to use 450 degrees on hair.
Woo, woo.
Without saying it.
I wasn't supposed to do those anymore, was I? Because Chris said not to. No. In the
so
end.
400 is
400's the max. And
even for the healthiest hair out there.
And I have to be completely honest with everybody about this. We have tested and calibrated. In fact, we went to an engineering company here in Atlanta and tested different heats. After 400 degrees, you're burning the hair. And I'm, you know, we do definitely get frustrated about it, but yes, it's true. You are burning the hair after 400 degrees. So we never recommend going over that high of heat. We know the heat settings go all the way up there, and there are some fantastic irons that do the job, but we just don't recommend going over 400.
Gotcha. Okay, and then another question that was on Facebook, can you use a hot comb versus a ceramic or titanium iron?
Okay, the answer would be
stove.
Absolutely not. And the reason is because we just discussed those recommended heat settings, the 340 to 400 degrees. I always give the example that you still have to take into account the client's texture, whether it's fine, medium, or coarse. You're not going to use the same amount of heat on coarse hair as you would fine hair or even color treated hair. When we're using the Marcel irons in and out of the stove and in our straightening combs in and out of the stove, we cannot gauge that temperature. We've all been
So
there.
I should throw my hot comb away because I've been waiting to put it back on the stove.
Oh, no.
Please don't
hot
comb baby King's hair.
Please don't do
Please.
it. Because you can't control it. It's uncontrolled heat. You might have gotten a phone call, and all of us have been there. I used them maybe 13, 14 years ago. And you put it in, and then you forgot for a second. You turned around, and it's in the stove, and you pull it out. Yeah, you can wipe it on the cloth and all that, but we still don't know what that temperature is. So for the safest heat, we say 340 to 400.
So hot combs over with.
No hot combs.
Okay, that's what we have Fusion for. Fusion styling tools, our ceramic tools, and our titanium platinum edition irons. We have Fusion. We do have some more questions that are coming through.
Hooray, you can hear me.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Welcome to the conversation.
Thank you. I wasn't trying to text my friend throughout this presentation.
She was trying to get connected, so she's connected now. Yeah.
Oh, I will.
All right, so we have a question. All right, the question is, number one, Nicole Jefferson said that she is enjoying this. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you for everyone who is participating. All right, so here's a question about what products to use and when. Nicole Jefferson wants to know if you start out giving someone an elongation treatment, maybe in one setting when she comes to visit you, can you follow it up with the silkening spray? So can you mix the products or mix them treatment after treatment, week after week? You know, what is your response to that?
Nicole, I will say this. You know, this is a you absolutely can, but I will say that this is a treatment, and you know, it is. How do I say this? It's, you know, your client is paying for this treatment, so yes, you could use them in addition to each other. However, I think, you know, to be more cost effective for your customers, you may want to decide on one versus the other. And that's just truly because you want to, you know, manage your customers.
Now, we do have people that have maybe come in and out of the conversation. So if a client gets the elongation mousse, let's say today, which is the 27th of August, and she comes back next week, would you say she get the silkening spray, or how long would you say between she needs to get the elongation mousse again? Because that might be the deeper question.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I don't think she'll need it next week.
Okay,
I don't think she'll need anything. I think she'll need the express and she'll be good to go.
Gotcha.
And I think in 6 weeks, yes, I would reapply the treatment.
The elongation mousse. So you're recommending about 6 weeks between application of either the elongation mousse and the transitioning mousse?
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
Gotcha. Now, Alicia, just in case people have joined us, what would you say are the biggest difference between the transitioning mousse and the elongation mousse?
All right, the biggest differences between the transitioning mousse and the elongation mousse would be that I'm going to use my transitioning mousse for my clients that like to wear their hair straight most of the time. We have our natural clients that may not want to wear their hair like I'm wearing mine or like Centilia's wearing hers. So if they like to wear their hair in that sleek bob style most of the time, then I would go with the transitioning mousse for them. Okay, now for the elongation mousse, that is the one that I'm going to use for the client that wants to wear her hair curly most of the time, but then she still wants that manageability to be able to go straight when she wants to. If she has a naturally curly texture and she just wants the definition, she doesn't want the swelling, she doesn't want to go out and have the effects of humidity or light sweats, then definitely the elongation mousse would be the choice for her.
Okay. I have a question. Someone wants to know, this is Yolanda Hughes, she wants to know, can you apply STS, any of the products in the system, if you have a customer who has a relaxer on the ends of their hair or maybe has a perm on the ends of the hair?
Oh my gosh, this is where it's amazing. I'm sorry, I just got animated. Okay. I'm just going to jump
But it's okay because you're excited.
I am excited.
Yes.
And your toenail polish is so beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay, so the thing is that when we were testing this system, that's exactly who we were testing it on, hence the name transitioning mousse, for women who are transitioning out of a relaxer. And this kind of works to strengthen, because what would happen is if you were going natural, before it was all about the big chop, we've got to cut this off, and now what this system does is it goes and it strengthens where your hair is natural and where your hair was relaxed previous. So you have a strengthen from root to tip end, and fiber rather, so that way you can transition on your own time rather than having to cut your hair short.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's why it's so amazing.
Good stuff. Okay, so we're getting feedback from you all. Want to say first, this is our first time doing this type of format, so of course we're working out the kinks. The next time will be much better. We understand there have been some challenges with the sound, so we'll work that out as well. So thank you so much for your feedback.
Absolutely.
And what we're doing as well, we're actually recording this. So even though the sound might be a little bit fuzzy now, you can go back on our YouTube page, please do, and watch the video, because we understand that we are recording and there might be some sound challenges right now. We're getting ready to wrap up because we're approaching 3 o'clock very quickly. Time has flown by.
Wow.
Alicia, what do you love most about the STS system?
What I love most about the STS system is that this has given both myself and my clients the flexibility to be able to wear our natural hair, whether it be straight or curly, but just be able to manage your hair. Because you get clients coming in, and I know that you consumers out there may agree with me, that when you decided to transition and you get to that maybe 2-month mark after you haven't had a relaxer and you start getting frustrated and you say, you know what, I'm going to go back to the relaxer. You don't have to go back to the relaxer, because this one is going to give you that manageability. And that's where I've been able to reel in a lot of my clients that have decided to go natural and then they get wavered during that moment, but then I'm able to give them this system, and they're happy. So happy camper, okay? And me too, because I've been natural for 2 years, and I did do the big chop, by the way.
She did. She did.
What about you, Rebecca? What do you really love about the system?
I think well, there's many things that I love about the system, but one of the things that I like is that it's innovative. It's new, it's innovative. It's something that we can use on all of our customers. And you know, we always talk about I've got to hold this up. We always talk about internally about how texture is changing. You know, everybody has some sort of texture added to their hair. So this is a product that really can work on all hair textures, as well as it's another tool for the professional stylist to be successful with both natural hair and transitioning hair in the market. But it's also another thing, you know, I mean, your hair is your identity. I mean, truly, and that's, I mean, I can say that because I had to cut a little bit of my hair off and I was a little devastated, and Alicia did it, and it was hard, but because my ends were, okay, it's a different story. But you know, we do wrap up our identity in our hair, and it's difficult when you have hair that is breaking. So being able to help women and, you know, children and whomever transition, whether they decide to stay in a relaxer or out of a relaxer, or help to assist them in any breakage or shedding that they may have with the system, you know, it's a great thing.
Cool. Any final thoughts on strengthening therapy system? Any questions that you've heard that we might not have addressed?
Children. We get this question a lot about children. You know, how old can you be? And let me start by saying this, friends and neighbors. I do not recommend a relaxer on a child that has not gone through puberty. And oh my goodness, there's probably 13-year-olds out there going, she just had puberty. Because remember how embarrassed we used to get when people would say that? And that's for a relaxer service, and I just want to start there. Now, with the strengthening therapy system, it is gentle enough to use it on a child as long as they can sit for 2 hours. So that's really dependent on the child, okay? If they're able to sit for 2 hours and not be wiggly like, you know, both of my girls who naturally just jump all the time, they're probably safe to get the system.
For you?
And I would add just the same thing. I mean, children, if they can sit through the process, and we've already explained that it has to be basically done twice throughout that time. If they can sit, then most definitely this is going to be the answer for your mothers out there looking for some relief. Trying to get them to the bus at 7 o'clock in the morning, yeah, I'm that.
And I just want to add too, you know, I know we're getting a lot of questions, because that's what I'm doing on my iPad. Again, I'm not updating my Facebook status, although I did, about where they can get the system. Trial sizes available. If you're looking to get this system done on your hair and you're a customer, you can actually go onto our website and we have a salon locator. All I will say is call the salon prior to going in and ask them if they perform the strengthening therapy system treatment. But it's a great way for you to go in and find a salon near you that performs the system.
Well, good deal. Thank you all, ladies. Thank you, Alicia Settles. Alicia is an educator with Design Essentials.
She is a new master educator. She's
advanced. Congratulations.
Super excited.
Congrats. She is based in Atlanta. Rebecca.
It just means she's going to work harder.
Yeah, well, still congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm sure you put in years, so you deserve it very much. Rebecca.
So much.
She's our Director of Education here with McBride Research Laboratories. Thank you for your time.
Not a problem.
We appreciate it. And my name is Sin Abrams. I work in the marketing department here at McBride Research Laboratories. And again, we are taping this session. It will be available on YouTube. So if you missed any questions or have any additional questions that we didn't answer, you can always send us your questions on Facebook or call us at our 1-800 number. Rebecca is always there, or someone is always here to answer your questions. And we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.